Thanks for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an AdSense and affiliate site for sale in the culinary niche. The site makes right around $7,300 per month in net profit, and the listing number for this one is 40311. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller, Admir, with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Thanks for coming on, Admir. I appreciate it.
Thank you. How you doing?
Good, man. So let's do a quick kind of rundown of the business. I was built in January 2014. The monthly revenue on this is $7,829 a month, and that's an average of over 12 months. Expenses come in right around $500 a month, and we've got net profit of $7,329 over the last 12 months on average. It's built on WordPress. It's a great looking site, by the way. And we're listing this one at a 32x multiple. Tell me a little bit, what are the expenses for? What are the $500 for?
The main expenses are basically is the writer that just takes about at least a minimum of 10 general articles per month to keep the site going, and also of course the hosting and the SEO. So all together is between $450 to $500 per month.
Cool. Yeah, I actually looked. I was just looking at some of the articles right before we got on this, and some of them are kind of your standard fare, like top 5 of this, top 7 of this, and then other ones are a little more in depth. They're actually pretty interesting. I think it could be broken up a bit better. And sorry, we're gonna get into all this a little later in the interview, but I'm just looking at the site. It could be broken up a bit better, and I think just laid out a bit better for the reader. So I think that's an opportunity for a buyer. But the written content itself is good. I just think the layout could look better for the users. But before we even get into any of that, man, tell me a little bit about your background in building and running websites and online businesses. How'd you get into all this?
Originally, I got into it through one of my younger cousin. He started one. Well, we did a lot of projects before, but he started one project where it was like just the prices of fast food restaurants. And when he got into that, that kind of gave me an idea like, why don't I not do dining restaurants? Because there was a situation where I needed to look up the price of something and I couldn't find it on, I just Googled it everywhere and nobody had the prices. I had to actually call the restaurant, call location, find out, how much was this, how much was that. And that is what got me into it. I'm like, you know what, there's a lot of people out there like me looking for the prices of, particular meal prices, So I was like, you know what, I need to, do something about that. And that's where everything started.
There's a need for that. Back when Joe and I had an outsourcing company, we didn't do much call center work, but we did a little bit of calling, and we called bars and restaurants, and we were asking things like, what time's your happy hour? What do you have on the menu for happy hour? Can you send us a copy of it? What's the guy to girl ratio? And basically this for an app for people looking for, happy hours and drink specials and, special food specials and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's kind of hard to get that data. And the best way to do it sometimes is just call them up directly and ask them for it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, okay, so you had a cousin that was working with restaurants a bit. You saw the niche. You said, there's something I can do here. I'm going to build sites. Had you built sites before, or is this kind of the first profitable site you'd built?
This will be one of the early. I think it will be the second profitable site. The site before this one, there was something related to medicine, and that was one of the earlier sites. But there was other projects, but they were not profitable. They were just trial, just experiment and see how well it's going to do. But this is the first one that we managed to get people to use every day.
Yeah, that's one of the things with building is you do have a failure rate, right? And so you're testing different things. You try this one and one pops and then 2 or 3 don't. And so this happened to be one of the ones that popped. Tell me a little bit about, I know it makes money via AdSense and affiliates. Tell me a little bit more about how it makes money. Is it most of the money AdSense? Is it affiliate income?
Well, it's mostly AdSense money right now. And it's also, we have also, if you scroll, if you get on any of these pages, for example, like a Golden Corral or even Applebee's or Bahama Breeze page, you can see all the way in the bottom, we have a Taboola ads. And those are your also ads, but they're different. They're actually related to what people search around the web and all that stuff. That's another source of income with the AdSense. And also recently, just this month, I also applied for, there's another ad network called Yellow Hammer. And they're actually pretty good too. So it's basically making money 3 ways.
Okay, so but most of the money right now is AdSense, right?
Yes, most of the money for us right now is AdSense.
Gotcha. Okay, so tell me a little, I mean, like, what's your reason for selling it? Like, why are you selling it now instead of just keeping it and growing it out even further?
I'm working on a new project and it's related to fitnesses, and I'm like interested in growing that because I have few products that I want to launch myself, but that I need the funds for that.
So you're looking to launch physical products?
Yes,
Okay. All right, cool. So you're going to need inventory. You're going to need some spend to get that off the ground. So that's
yes,
basically
sir.
what you plan to do with the cash too. So you're going to be rolling it into this other business. You going to take a vacation at all, man? You going to do a little bit, or you just are you all business?
No, no, no vacation right now, just business. Maybe next year vacation. Who knows? We'll see.
Gotcha, man. All right, so let's talk about the history of the site a little bit. It was built in January 2014. I want to know a little bit about, what the trajectory is like of the business the first few weeks, the first few months. Like, was it an immediate success? Did you start making a couple $100, in the second month, or did it take 3, 6 months to kind of get rolling?
Yeah, the site took about I would say 3 to 6 months to actually pick up. Once the traffic started, coming there, then everything just kind of took, um, work itself up.
Yeah,
It wasn't much. It wasn't much. I very like I said, it's very I very early I didn't know it's gonna really work. It was just another experiment, and this one just happened to work.
yeah, and it takes some time to start getting those organic rankings too, and start getting that traffic right. So that kind of makes
Yes.
sense. What
Yep.
did you learn from building this site that was just a winner, that just works? Something that other people can apply to the sites that they own, or that you might apply to the next websites you build. Is there something that you said, "Wow, this is a winner"?
Just don't be afraid to try. Just try and see. Where it's gonna go. Don't assume that you like. Don't assume that you think that this is. That this might work. This might not work. Just do it and see what happens.
Experimentation is what you're saying. So
Yep.
you experiment, you're going to find things that work, and
Yes.
you're going to have some losses, but doesn't matter because you're getting to the good stuff.
Yes.
That's scary. What's scary about that is when your site starts making more and more money, it's even scarier to do that experimentation. It's like, oh, I don't want to screw anything up, right? Like
Yes.
I know a lot of people are in that position. I've asked them when they're selling their sites, like, why haven't you done this, or why haven't you done that? Why haven't you changed the site around to aggressively, pull in more money from it? And they're like, oh, I just didn't want to touch it. You know what I mean? I didn't want to
Yes.
mess with that and screw something up. Cool, man. All right. Did you try anything with the site that just you thought was going to be a big win and just like fell flat, that failed for you?
Yes, I actually tried adding that like the calories JavaScript code, and and I thought that people are gonna jump up and get excited because this site has prices and the calories, but it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, it is helpful, but it's not to that point. I think prices and menus are just more what people are searching.
Admin, I think you're scaring people with the calories, man. They're like, look, I'm cool with seeing like what they got. I'm not sure I want to see how many calories it is, man. That's
That could be it. That could be it right there.
cool, man. All right, let's talk about traffic and earnings a little bit. Give me a breakdown. Like, is most of the traffic organic? Do you have any paid traffic or some of it referral? Like, what's that look like?
All 100% of all the traffic for this restaurant meal prices is organic. There is nothing, I'm not paying anybody for anything except just a writer to write an SEO that we have already talked about that. That's the only thing.
Okay, what kind of SEO are you doing on the site?
I have that plan with the SEO juice.net
300 bucks a month you're
level.
paying. You're
Yes,
paying
yes,
for the
level 3. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. And, it's all organic. Is this site ranked for like 3 or 4 main keywords, or is it like, 50, 100, 200 keywords that's ranked for?
I would say it's definitely a rank for at least 20 keywords. It's like number one, and then there's a whole bunch of number twos. So it's most of the restaurants, pretty much like about 90% of the pages are on first page.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
have I have few of them like on second or third, but they're gonna slowly climb up too.
All right, man. Let's talk a little bit about the earnings. Like, how stable are the earnings? Is it up and down every month? Do you have big months and then small months, or is it pretty even, Steven?
It is, some months are like sometimes last 3 months it was like one of the better months, and even last year, like I would say October, November, December, those months have been like slow. They slow down a little bit. I would think because for two reasons. One reason is that the Google's CPCs is definitely went down. The traffic, I think the people are just not. They're just not searching that much during like October, November, December.
Okay.
But it picks up again in January, February, March. If you go back and look at analytics, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. The traffic is going up and down, but it's still fairly stable. Like it's gonna make money every day.
It's
It's not
not
like it's
it's
just
not it's not $1,000 and then $12,000 and no. Okay.
no, no, it's not like that.
All right, man. So how much content is on the site right now? That it sounds like a heavily content site. I mean, a lot of the traffic, well, most of the, no, almost all the traffic is organic. You're
Yeah.
adding quite a bit of content. How much content is on the site today?
Today, just the restaurants, I have well over 150 restaurants, and I have well over 150 general articles. So I would say anywhere between 300 and 400 pages.
Okay, and how much content is being added on a weekly basis right now?
I'm adding content nonstop. Just researching, adding more and more stuff. So I would say 2 to 3 per just regular restaurants, 2 to 3 per week, and of course, one general article every 3 days.
Cool.
So
So
maybe I would say maybe like four pages per week.
gotcha. All right, man. So I got an idea on how much content you got, how much content you're adding. Let's talk a little bit about the opportunities. If someone were looking to buy this site and they said, look, I don't want to do anything crazy. I just want like slight, moderate growth. What would be kind of the best path to just kind of maintain and slightly grow the site over the next 12 to 24 months?
I would jump into adding actually drink menus. A lot of restaurants have drink menus. You could take add that, and then you can also add a catering menus. So that's 2 ways, and a third way that I would do is like you say mentioned earlier, happy hour menus. There's a lot of people out there looking for happy hour menus, what time and all that stuff. You could take it like three different directions.
Cool. Why haven't you done that so far? Are you just focused on kind of the main menus? Is that the idea?
Well, main menus is it's just a lot of work already with the main menus. It's like just keeping up with it. To be honest with you, there's a lot of restaurants out there that of course a lot of pages like uh, you have to research to find them. You just cannot find them right away. It takes
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. And then if I were buying this site and I said, look, I want to 3x the site in the next 12 to 18 months. I want to triple the earnings. What kind of more aggressive moves could I make that would make that possible?
If you want to make more money with it, you just gotta follow the formula. Keep adding good quality content pages. That is it. I wouldn't recommend anybody to do any kind of outside crazy SEO because um, the things can get out of with the Googles, and you know how they do with the penalization and all that. We don't want to. This is a quality site. It took pretty much 2 years to get it up. So we don't want to lose all that by jumping and trying to make a whole bunch of money. Another way to do it is leave AdSense alone and come up with a different strategy how to make money, just based on users, or even based on impression. Because I know, like with the going back to Yellow Hammer, they actually don't pay by clicks; they pay by impressions.
Hmm.
So there's different like strategies you would have to figure out how to make more money. Um,
Start collecting email addresses and seeing if you can send them
yes,
offers and coupons,
yes,
that kind of thing. Yeah.
yes, yeah, yes.
Cool. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the risks. I mean, the one that stands out to me the most is, I mean, with almost completely organic traffic, you're at the whim of Google. So it's based on, you keeping that traffic. So let's say that you drop down a couple of spots, that could hurt traffic a bit. Let's
Yes.
say you were penalized with Google, that would be, painful. What do you see as the risks aside from, the obvious one where Google could, you could lose Google traffic? What other risks are there with this business?
That's the biggest risk is the Google just taking killing your ranks. If your ranks tank. Other than that, you're gonna have like a new people try and copy it, but a lot of people they're trying to copy it. They don't last too long because it's not like their SEO is just not that natural. People are naturally linking this site to different sources because they're getting information from here. So you can't sometimes you really can't beat that. No matter how much you pay for SEO and everything, it's just not natural. That person eventually is gonna get penalized. Well, this has been around
So you've been
naturally here.
so you've been this with more long term in mind, and the short term
Yes,
things they get ranked, they do pretty well for a period of time and then go away.
they just go away. Yep, and I've had personal experiences with different webmasters. They make they actually take my table. They change around a little bit and they outrank me for a little bit, but then they just disappear.
Gotcha. All right, let's talk about the work required. You talked about, one piece of general content every 3 days. You talked about all the content that you're adding for the restaurants. You're not actually writing all that content, are you? You have a writer for that?
Yes, I have a writer, and she's stable
Okay.
writer.
Is she coming with the site? Is she willing to continue writing for the new buyer?
Yes.
Cool. And then what other kind of work do you do for the site? Like, are you doing anything on a weekly or monthly basis?
Mainly just try to update the menus, try to, get the latest ones. So therefore people, because a lot of times it's not just the prices that change, the menus change too. So people want to get the latest menu. You don't want to give a menu that's 2 years old.
Gotcha. So you're updating the menus on the restaurants you have, probably
Yes,
doing new keyword research to find the new restaurants you can target. And anyone buying this, maybe they can look at happy hours, they can look at drink menus, as you mentioned,
yes,
bar menus, that kind of thing, and expand on the restaurants that are already there.
yes.
Cool, man. All right, so let's talk about some additional information. One of the things I want to know as a buyer is I don't want to buy this site and have you turn around and compete with me like a month later. If I were to purchase a site, would you be willing to commit to a non-compete for, let's say, a year or 2 years, so you're not targeting the same niche?
Yes, I'll willing to sign. I'll be able to sign everything like the same moment it sells.
Cool. And then how much support are you offering buyers? So are you giving 30 days email support? Would you be willing to hop on a couple of phone calls to make sure I understand the strategy?
Yes, I will do honestly email. I will do phone calls, and I will, again, I just want to make sure the buyers know that I don't want to like take the money and then like not be supported. I want to make sure that site still stays on top because it took a lot of work for me to, push it that far. It's also like my baby too in a way. So I don't want it to tank. I don't want to take anybody's money either because I'm just not like that. Like, because I want to invest somewhere else, and that could be, that could be also like bad signs. Take the money from somebody quickly and not give any support. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna give 110% support. Make sure that they know what they're doing. Make sure we're all on the same page. If they need any help trying to rank some keywords, I will definitely be more than. I'll be glad to help them get that stuff ranked.
Another question I'd want to know is, obviously 100% offer if you get cash up front, that's a better deal, right? That's the one you're going to take. But if someone comes in, a buyer says, look, I want to do 70% up front, I'll pay you 30% in 30 days after the training. Or I'll give you 80% up front, but I'd rather give you the 5% over the next 4 months. Would you at least be open to considering that offer?
Yes, I'll be open for that consideration. Yes.
Okay, so just depending on the deal, depending on the situation, the offer, an earnout or a split or something might be something you consider, just depending on where it's at and where you're at.
Yes, I mean I will be considerate. Just to make sure that the people know that the reason again this site is it's I'm asking like the price is a lot more than these other sites because it has a lot of potential. Potential is a lot of there. You can keep adding pages, and even if you don't spend a lot of money on SEO, like I really keep it always at $300 a month. These pages that you add are gonna organically gonna grow, like they just gonna climb to first page because at this point the page has authority. So the Google trusts us already when you add something that you add a quality page versus just adding nonsense.
Cool, man. Let's do a quick wrap up. It's an AdSense affiliate site, the culinary niche and the restaurant niche. Actually, it's built in January 2014. Monthly revenues on
Yes.
a 12-month average, we're talking $7,829. Expenses of $500 puts net profit at $7,329 a month. Again, average over the last 12 months. It's built on WordPress. It's a great looking site and it's listed at a 32x multiple. Admir, if you could give me what's your best pitch in the next 30 seconds or so on why someone should purchase this site?
Someone should purchase this site because this site has been stable for me for the last 2 years, and you should not be afraid to take a risk at it because it's gonna go up and down just like any business. But this one's here to stay. It's not gonna go anywhere. I can assure you that.
Awesome, Admir. Thanks so much for coming on. For anyone that's interested in checking out more information about the site, they want like the URL, they want to get all the analytics, they want to get the earnings history. If you're on empireflippers.com on the listing page, look in the top right-hand corner. You can click pay a deposit, pay a refundable deposit, and we'll send all that information to you to help you make a buying decision. If you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere else, there's probably a link down below in the show notes or whatever that will send you over to the listing page and you can get more information about this site for sale. Again, Admir, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.